Hello, grade 4, how are you? Today we're gonna start a new lesson. This lesson is lesson 1 in chapter 4. It's called New England. Okay, listen, guys. Do you remember in the previous lesson, I told you that when people discover, especially Christopher Columbus, this sailor, when he discovered America, all the Europeans started to sail to America to settle in America. Okay, so all the European countries started after Christopher Columbus discovered America, they started to travel to America and settle there. So we found, for example, France took north of America, which is Canada, and settled in Canada. Okay, south of America, which is Mexico, is settled by Spain. East of America is settled by England. So who took the east part of America? England. Okay. When England took the east part of America, England divided this part into three regions, okay? Into three regions. You know that east of America lies along the Atlantic Ocean. So all the east is divided into three regions. The first region or the northern region is called New England. This is our lesson today. And the middle part or the middle region is called the middle colonies. And the third part or the south part is called the southern colonies. Okay, today we're gonna take the northern part, which is called New England. Okay, let's start. New England states, guys, are six states. What are the six states of New England? Number one, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Vermont. So these are the six states of New England part or New England region. Okay. Here, guys, your focus speak about Massachusetts and the capital city of Massachusetts, which is Boston. So Boston here is the capital city of Massachusetts. Okay. You know, guys, that they considered Boston as an important shipping center because it's located along the Atlantic Ocean. So it has the most famous harbor in America. And Boston's people, if we speak about the people who live in Boston or Massachusetts, we could find many people from all over the world, from Europe, from Asia, from Africa. Okay. And you know, guys, in any city or in any country, not only Boston, when the population grows, the people started to move to live in the suburban communities. Okay, you remember the difference? We talked that lesson before. The difference between urban, suburban, and rural communities. Number one, urban community. What the meaning of urban? Urban means city. Urban means city. Okay, like Port-Said, like Cairo. If we speak about local examples, for example. Okay, so these are urban. Urban means city. Okay, suburban or suburb. Suburb means a small city. It's like a small community that grows outside the city. It's a small community that grows outside the city. For example, okay, if we speak about Port-Said, Port-Said is a city, so it's an urban community. Okay, if we speak about Port-Said, Port-Said is a suburb or suburban community. Okay, why? Because it's a small community which located outside the big city. Okay, for example, Cairo. Cairo is a big city. Okay, if we speak about Medinti, no, Medinti is a suburb. Why? Because Medinti is a small community that grows outside the city, which is Cairo. Okay, so now, guys, because the population grows in Boston, okay, in the city of Boston, so many people moved to live in the suburb, and also many business moved to the suburbs too. Here, guys, if you visit Medinti, if you visit Port Said, we could find houses, we could find hypers, we could find some business, some stores, okay, and also some suburbs include factories. Here, guys, factories are located around, or many factories are located around Boston to make many kinds of goods. Okay, and the Puritans, and you know what the meaning of Puritans, we talked it in the previous lesson. Puritan means the English settlers in America. The English settlers in America are called Puritans. So the Puritans built in Boston or in New England in general many schools, many universities, many churches. Why? They built all of that to teach young children their religion. This was their aim or their goal in that time. And here, guys, we have a new term, which is university. What the meaning of university? University, it's kind of a school. So it's a school with several colleges that each focus on one area of study. For example, College of Medicine, College of Engineering, College of Education, College of Commerce. Okay, so several college, each college focus on one study. Okay, a study of medicine, study of engineering, study of education, study of art, study of commerce, and so on. Okay. The third type of communities is rural life. Okay. When I say rural, we talk urban, we talk suburban, and here is rural life in New England. Rural means farming, guys. When I say the word rural, means farming. Farming, rural. Rural, farming. So here, rural life often means farming. But what about farming in New England? No, guys, no farming in New England. Look, no farming in New England. Why? Because the land of New England is rugged and rocky. It's good not it's not good for farming. Okay. Also, the growing season. You remember what the meaning of growing season? We talked it also in the previous lesson. Growing season means the season in which plants grow. So here, guys, the growing season in New England is short. Okay, so you could find little people or few people work as farmers. Why? When I ask you, for example, why hardly you could find farmers in New England, because no farming in or little farming in New England because the land is rugged and rocky. Also, the growing season is short. So they planted limited types of plants like blueberries and potatoes. Also, they raised dairy cows. Okay, but most of people in New England they work in manufacturing and tourism. What the meaning of manufacturing? Manufacturing, guys, means making goods, means making goods in factories. So when I say manufacturing means making goods in factories. Making goods in factories means manufacturing. Okay. And here we have a new term which is commuter. What the meaning of commuter? Commuter, guys, people who live in cities or in urban communities. Sometimes they work in cities and live in suburban. Okay, sometimes they work in cities or in urban communities, but they live in suburban communities. For example, some of you, okay, some of your families live in Porto Said. Their homes or their houses are in Porto Said. How they go to their work or where are their work? Their work here in Port Said, so they have to travel every day from Port Said to Port Said. Some of the students, for example, have schools also there, so they have to travel, okay, every day to go to their schools. So if you travel to your work or to your job every day, you now is a commuter. You now is a commuter. So commuter is the person who travels between home and work. Okay. Some people live in Medinti, but their work is in Cairo. Okay. So they have to travel from Medinti to Cairo every day. Okay. Some of the students, their homes in Medinti, but their schools in Cairo, so they have to travel also every day. But nowadays, guys, we could find some kinds of the suburban communities that have, I told you, hypers, schools, and some kinds of business. It looked like a complete life, so they didn't need or they don't need to go somewhere else. Okay, so commuter means the person who travels every day between home and work. Okay, let's speak about cost of life between this is a comparison on the cost of life between the urban areas and the rural areas. This is in everywhere in America, in New England, in Egypt, anywhere you could find this differences between urban communities and rural communities. In urban communities, guys, okay, like cities, if you live in a city, okay, and here rural communities or rural areas like farmlands. So here, people who live in cities and people who live on farms. What the difference? Of course, the living in a city costs more than living in farm, okay, or on a farm. So here, for example, this is a metro ticket. This is for 9 real. I'm sorry, this is for $9, okay, but this one is for $8, okay. So this is cheaper. Okay, this sandwich is for $20, but this one is for $10. Okay, this house, for example, costs 240,000. This one is cost 57 and 500,000. So now, if you look at the differences between numbers, so you could find that living in cities or urban areas, of course, cost more living in rural areas or on farms. Rural means farms. Okay. Returning back to New England, what about vacationing in New England? If you have vacation and you want to travel to any state in New England, what are the places you could visit? What are the activities you could do there? Number one, guys, people who love history can walk Boston's Freedom Trail or visit the colonial villages. And if you're interested, you can check these places on Google and see how you take your vacation there. Number two, people can ski on mountains in winter and also they can relax on sandy beaches in summer. What about festivals and celebrations? They have many festivals, okay? Number one, or the first festival they have Dog Sled Derby in New Hampshire. They have a Maple Festival in Vermont, and they have Lobster Festival in Maine. So these are three festivals are found in New England states. Okay, what about the weather in New England states? The summer is warm and the winter is cool. Look at the map of New England. Look, New England temperature. This is the summer is warm. New England has warm summers and cool winters. This is about the weather. So, so my lesson today, guys, I told you is about New England. We talk the states of New England. We speak about Boston and how it's a famous shopping center. We speak about a lot the differences if you live in a city, if you live in suburb, and if you live in rural community. Okay, here is rural life in New England and how is farming in New England, no farming in New England, and the life or the cost of life in rural, of course, is cheaper than urban areas. Okay, and if you want to take your vacation there, what are the places you could visit and what are the festivals they celebrate? And also the last point about the weather in New England. So read the lesson again and watch the video again. And if you need anything, contact me anytime. Thank you, grade 4, and goodbye.